Perfect storm of hype, politicians, the media, the hurricane, and the media hurricane, Irene, apocalypse that never was. This person really, this is an interesting read. I thought it was pretty entertaining. This person sort of goes into Irene and how hyped it was, and sort of analyzes how the media and the government and these politicians, all their interests sort of come together on an event like this, and it's in their best, all their best interest to hype it up as much as possible. The media for their attention, headline grabbing things, the politicians to make it seem like they're in control and to recover from their past failures and all these sorts of things. So it was an interesting read. Not surprising at all that they would way overblow something. Not that it wasn't a problem. Obviously,
bad things happen, but
a couple people died.
I think once I got to certain parts, they're still calling it a hurricane, and I don't think the winds were blowing hard enough to still be a hurricane, but they're showing on TV like, whoa, look what's...
Oh, yeah, they had news reporters. There was the guy out who had, did you see the guy out in, his head, the sewage?
No.
Flying into his face, and he's like, talking about...
It's a shitstorm.
Yeah, he commented on the taste that it was, gritty in his mouth. Something, this, that, and the other. But, yeah, they said there was, I think they actually talked about it here, where there were other news reporters, they would find the worst possible thing, and then, just behind them, there'd be people just, strolling along, nothing was going on, it was no big deal, just totally blowing things out of proportion as much as possible. And I guess people did die in this, but then he goes on to comment and say, there was actually relatively low numbers compared to dozens of other storms that have occurred in the same year, I mean, just, it's amazing. It's amazing what these people do. And here's Obama at his command post, taking control, saving lives. I mean, and you got DHS Napolitano there. I don't know who this fat fuck is over here in the blue.
That bitch just looks annoying.
Yeah. Think she's a dyke?
I don't know.
Not that I care about.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter, but she looks like she might fit the description.
It's the mold. Yeah. Get over here.
Yeah, I like this.
FBI organizes almost all terror plots in the U.S. I can't remember. This is Trevor. I can't remember what the last name is. Scott Horton on Anti-War Radio did an interview with him. But basically said that he analyzed all of these cases against these alleged terrorists in the U.S. that have been brought. And out of all of them, he said there were only 3 that were legitimate threats, actual serious imminent threats. And only one of those 3 was the name Naji Boulazazi, I think it was. And this was actually, I think, relatively recent, maybe. Maybe it's 2009, 2010, but the court case is just now coming. Anyway, doesn't matter. Point is that this case was this guy was going to try to bomb the New York subway, and his plot was discovered before anything ever actually happened. That was the one case. And guess what? Guess what he was pissed off about?
Tell me.
The American occupation of Afghanistan. You ever heard of a Texas congressman talking about blowback? No, they hate us because our freedoms. I forgot. Sorry, I can't bring that up. But all these other instances, they said there was 500 cases brought against these people, and 50 of them, 49 I think it was, were incidences where the FBI deliberately trolled for patsies, for useful idiots, for people down on the luck, for people borderline retarded, for people, really mentally borderline retarded.
I agreed.
And infiltrated, deliberately tried to radicalize, supplied with money, supplied with supplies, and all these other things, basically bringing them every step of the way, people who have absolutely no way to do this otherwise. They're not
going to be able to get this on their own or locate the right resources.
Right. Brought them every step of the way and encouraged them, egged them on the whole way so that they could swoop in later and say, hey, look what we did. It's like the Wrigleyville bomber was one shining example of that, where supplied them every step of the way, radicalized, and at the last second stepped in and said, oh, we're the FBI, we stopped it, look at us, we're awesome.
Yeah, could probably come in and ask for more funding, say, look what we're doing right, but there's always a chance of somebody else slipping through the cracks. We need more money.
Exactly. And it's a bunch of guys sitting around wherever the FBI headquarters is, Washington, D.C. or Langley, Virginia, or whatever it is. But you got those guys at the top trying to figure out how to get more money and power, and then they, not everybody below, but I'm pretty sure they want to promote the people who don't question anything. Who you got nasal problems over there.
Yeah, that's allergy season. We're not having fun this evening.
But yeah, promoting the most unquestioning people, so that I don't know. They probably think this is justified, or think, well, they could be a threat.
We're getting the bad guys.
Yeah, doesn't matter. It's just
USA.
So I remember when I first brought this up to someone, they were like, "No, that's not possible." It's like, yeah. Well, why would they do that? And why? Well,
why do you? Yeah,
it
why
enhances their power and their monetary wealth.
Makes them look good.
Anyway, next. This one's just obnoxious.
It really is.
9/11 children's coloring book angers U.S. Muslims. It's called The Kids' Book of Freedom. God, that is disgusting. Condemned as, disgusting by Council on American Islamic Relations. Here's the picture. This is bin Laden getting
that coward shielding, using a woman as a shield.
Well, here's what's funny about it. Where does it say? I read this quote earlier. Let me control that shit. Yeah, here we go. Here's the quote. This is by this company, I guess, really big coloring books, which says it is designed, quote, designed to be a tool that parents can use to help teach children about the facts surrounding 9/11. So I guess they're all about facts.
We like facts.
Even though the White House admitted that bin Laden did not grab his wife and throw her in front of him before he was shot, as depicted in the coloring book here. Yeah. So
I want no part of having a kid at this point in my life, but I kind of look forward, if I ever do have kids and they go into public schools or something like that, and I don't know, say their first grade teacher puts some bullshit coloring book in front of them like this.
Well, if you want your kid handcuffed, that'd be a good place.
Yeah, I guess if I do send to public school, but yeah, I'd love to just send them in the next day and tell them to start asking questions and
interrogate your teachers.
My dad said this is bullshit, and what happened here?
Daddy says this is bullshit, and go on some big long rant about all the facts. And
give them a bunch of note cards while they can start spewing at the teacher. I don't know.
I like this little quote from. This is a text actually in the coloring book. Children, the truth is these terrorist acts were done by freedom-hating radical Islamic Muslim. That seems like a redundant Islamic Muslim. These were non-Islamic Muslims, Islamic Muslim extremists. These crazy people hate the American way of life because we are free in capital letters, and our society is free in capital letters. Wow. Conditioning children, inculcating children. Here's your coloring book. It's freedom.
Yeah, scratch that. I'll never send a kid to public school.
Yeah, I almost wanted to reach over and strangle you. Don't do that to your poor child. Don't hand him over to these idiots.
Okay, my hypothetical kid's not. He's not going to public school.
Yeah, he's gonna be one of those homeschooled weirdos, isn't he?
Maybe.
Yeah. What do you say? Break time again before we finish up the
yeah, sure.
Random article section?
Yep. BRB, folks.
BRB.